Alright, welcome back to another episode. Leading up to this, I've installed the LS truck injectors, the wideband O2 sensor, gauge and all that, the GM3 bar map sensor. I've got Chrome running with the Ostrich 2.0. So today it's finally time to actually make some pulls in the boost. So let me show you what I've done just to kind of basically set it up for it. Okay, so on the NA map here up to this point 4, this basically from this point, this is naturally aspirated. I took it up to 27 degrees of timing, and then from there I deducted 1 degree of timing per PSI. So from here onward it goes down 1 degree of timing per pound of boost. So today, well, the highest I've ever been at so far is like 8 PSI. So just for an example, that's about 19 degrees. But hopefully I want to land somewhere between 10, maybe 13, somewhere in this area today. And once I get on 85, I'll try and push it to 15 PSI. So on around 12 PSI, that's 15 degrees of timing. 1 degree pulled per PSI should be good. It should be pretty safe. And as far as the fuel, what I've done is, as I showed y'all before, you can go into boost tables and you can actually add let's see here, adjust for turbocharger efficiency. And what I did is I added 150%. So basically it adds 150% throughout the boost tables. So the idea is it's going to add too much fuel, and as I go through the tables here, I'm going to have to take away fuel. I'd rather start off too rich and too lean, so I'm going to kind of slowly boost it, and probably have to pull fuel to get the AFRs where I want them to be. First, I need to get just cruising to it. I haven't even done that, so I need to get it around 14.7. Leading up to boost, it's going to start getting richer. Basically, on these tables here, maybe, I don't know, 12, 12.5. And then, of course, in the boost, like 11.5, maybe 11.0 to 11.5 once you get in the boost. So I need to set the 14.7, the transition, and then have it running around 11.5 up in the boost. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to hold it at 15 inches of vacuum and kind of go through the RPMs. So, you know, obviously up to about 3,500 RPMs is a little bit rich. So I'm going to go into the tables and start taking away fuel. I'm going to try the best I can to explain this because it's really hard to record it as I'm doing it. But basically, the more throttle you give it, the closer to zero it's going to be. You know, on a naturally aspirated engine, when you floor it, it's basically going to be at 0. You know, idle, it's around 21 inches of vacuum. You know, quarter throttle, for example, would be like 15. Half throttle might be 10. Like basically floored would be about 3/4, about 5 inches of vacuum. So what I try to do is hold it at a certain vacuum, like for example 10 inches of vacuum. I'll hold it there and let the RPMs go through the entire range and adjust the fuel from there. You know, so I did like of course I just tuned the idle at 21 inches. I accelerated at 15 inches of vacuum, accelerated at 10 inches, 5 inches, and then I basically I almost floored it without going into boost for the 0, you know, of course through the RPM range. And then I got into boost. Actually ended up at 12, but I'm having some issues running lean. Okay, so I've been slowly tuning on this thing. I started at 5 PSI, then like, I don't know, 7, 9, 10, and now I'm up to 12 PSI. And I'm kind of running into a weird situation. Like 6, actually up to 8 PSI, it's good, it has plenty of fuel. But once I get to 10, 12 PSI at higher RPMs, no matter how much fuel I throw at it, it's still running lean. So I think I'm running out of fuel pump at this point, which I kind of assumed I'm going to need a Walbro 255 anyway to run 85. So I think I might have found the limitation of the stock fuel pump at about, well, I'm at 12 PSI and the AFRs are like high 12s, just not where they need to be. But I'm feeling it was pretty low. I'm going to put like a 1/4 tank, or maybe actually a 1/2 tank. Give it a couple more pulls just to rule out it being low on fuel. Maybe it wasn't picking up. But yeah, I think 12 PSI it's not going to get any higher than that. But hopefully I can show you a pull of what 12 PSI looks like on it. It's going to be hard. It's actually it's a little rowdy. But yeah, that's what I'm messing with now. So I was basically just adding fuel and 10 PSI and up. No matter what I did, it's still lean. So I think just not enough pump. So I'm doing the best I can. We'll try to show you a 12 PSI pull. It's gonna be kind of hard. Been collecting the stickers on the roof here. Got my Faribault, Speed Factory, blocks. What's next? Alright, but basically to sum it up, I cranked it up to 12 PSI, and no matter how much fuel I added at that boost level, it would not richen up. It was like 12.5 to even 13 to 1, and that's not safe. Too lean. I brought it back down to 10 PSI. AFRs were like 11.2, 11.5, and I was done tuning. That's pretty much right where I want it to be, so that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I need to go ahead and order the a Walbro 255, because I guess I found the limits of the stock fuel pump. I'm going to say it's 10 PSI. So after the injectors, after the 3-bar map, I achieved 2 extra pounds of boost thanks to the stock fuel pump. But once I get that fuel pump changed out, I should be able to put in some E85 and crank it up to at least 15. I really want 15 PSI on the stock bottom end. Not only that, I really wanted 12 PSI today on the just pump 93 octane. Kind of sucks, but yeah, I kind of needed to use up the fuel in the tank anyway, because I had some 93 octane. Use that up, make room for the 85. But let me show you the map here. So basically, this is the 10 PSI table. Up to this point, it was good. The AFRs are good, 11.3, 11.5. So from this point onward, this is where I just kept adding fuel. And no matter how much I added, I was like 10, 20, 30%. Nothing ever changed to the AFRs. So yeah, this is why I need the new fuel pump. So once I get that in, I can bring down these values. Pump will start keep it up and carry me on to infinity and beyond, I guess. 25 PSI. But alright, if you liked the video, like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.